can I buy it? I told her she gotta come try it. They wondering what I've been doing. I told them I'm keeping it quiet. I pull up, you know I be moving. Whipping the foreign, I'm cruising. The money I'm speaking is fluent. All of my business booming. Stacking my cash in abundance. All of my family funded. Finally got what I wanted. Life is amazing, I love it. Everyone know that I run it. Yeah, look at me now, I came up. I've been thinking back then when I almost gave up on the game, cause I never got it my way. Never got my mama whip on the driveway. I've been making all hits on a Friday. Back then I was getting like no plays. I'm never gonna change no Kanye. Gotta get a Lambo like Green Bay. I made a lot, but then I gave a lot, and now I had enough. But I've been keeping up, and now I pay the price to what I'm dreaming of. I had to sacrifice, and now I see the love. Everything beautiful. Lucky I never got trapped in a cubicle. If I did it, then you can do it too. Just follow my moves. I pull up, you know I be moving. Whipping the foreign, I'm cruising. The money I'm speaking is fluent. All of my business booming. Stacking my cash in abundance. All of my family funded. Finally got what I wanted. Life is amazing, I love it. Everyone know that I run it. Yeah, my family home for the holidays. I'm in the studio cooking up music, cause I know I never got time to waste. This is a decision I gotta make. Made it here, I can't stop now. Had to make what I got now. This the life I chose, seen the highs and lows. I've been getting what I want now. Middle finger to the middleman. Fuck what you posting on Instagram. Never been part of the fake shit. Everyone rapping, I swear that I hate it. Yeah, all of them wanna be famous. Give them a week and they fading. You buying a chain, I'm buying a crib, cause we not the same. I pull up, you know I be moving. Whipping the foreign, I'm cruising. The money I'm speaking is fluent. All of my business booming. Stacking my cash in abundance. All of my family funded. Finally got what I wanted. Life is amazing, I love it. Everyone know that I run it, yeah.
This is Reed Saunders, professional Colorado sports announcer.
1-0 to Ryan, drives it to right, going back, Puig, and it's gone!
You're tuning in to the Mile High Pundit Podcast.
Bones to Jokic, gone! Two-hand!
Follow us on Twitter at Mile High Pundit Podcast.
The Colorado Avalanche are Stanley Cup champions, and they will lift Lord Stanley a mile high.
Now, here's your hosts, Joel James and Jared Shuck.
Can y'all hear me? Because I actually can't hear you, Jared.
I've been over here vamping.
There we go.
And not a fucking thing could be heard.
Dude, we had some technical difficulties at the worst time as far as like I got to get a new laptop, bro.
I was shitting on you for
it's-
2 minutes. That's the best part. I was shitting on you for 2 minutes.
Oh well, I'm gonna enjoy going back and listening to this then. And
Yeah,
in
no shit.
rebuttal to that, how's the 5th place game going for you, pal?
Hey, you know what? My 5th place game is going just fine because guess what? After I was bounced out of it, I was like, fuck, we're screwed. Hey, but you know what? Hold on, come here. High five in the household right here. High five in the household. We both made playoffs, so this household is up. We needed a win after Sierra's plants were not getting us a win.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Sierra beat me last year in
Yeah.
the league for the because I ended up getting 3rd place, I think.
Dude, Sierra will go off for like 6 or 7 straight wins, and I'm just like, what are you? How? I have no fucking clue. It's just amazing.
She's very in tune with the week to week ads and drops. Like she's
Right.
on top of that as far as that goes. Like I don't use my ad drops nearly as much as far as just like if I have to type thing. And then for the playoffs, it's just been it's been up. But
It's been a shit show for you,
yeah,
like usual.
yeah. You have a goalie go down in the last game that you were counting on to get you a few points, and on top of that, it's just. Evan's squad went off. I had a bad week for once. Kind of bad. I still put up 86 and lost, but it is what it is.
I mean, can't do much worse than fucking Spencer did, though.
Nope.
Which is nice.
Can't be. But yeah, man.
I'm opening this shit up. I got you. What are you drinking?
I just got a dry dock right now, but I'll probably switch to something a little bit stronger as the night moves on.
Can you grab that bottle real quick so we can show it off?
What about you, man?
Real quick.
What you got?
So, Sierra, when was this? God, a couple months ago, just about. Valentine's Day. That's right. For Valentine's Day, she got me a bottle of whiskey. So she knows we love our whiskey here at MHP. She knows that, and. I don't know where was this? Total Wine, apparently. So she got this. Oh, let me see. Axe and Oak Distillery from Colorado.
Okay.
Apparently they'll make a lot of bottles. They'll make 1,000 of this one. This is bottle 418 of batch 90. Nice. And on the back, they give you some stats on it. And they were listening to, which I thought was really funny at the time. They're listening to LMFAO. Don't know what song it was, but they're listening to LMFAO. So
just rocking out to some party rocking.
Yeah. And this is actually a Colorado Springs whiskey.
Okay.
So even better. What'd you say? So, and serious point out, so kind of, she said the logo reminded her of like the old Yeti footprint that we used to have on the shoulders too. So,
okay.
If you're of age, please go get it. If you're not, please do not. But we can't condone underage drinking here, unfortunately.
Nope.
Long time ago, we might have thought about it. But yeah, I mean, obviously we're scoreboard watching like we always are. I mean,
by the way, dude, I don't know if you've said this before or when you were vamping, so I'll have to.
I was vamping to fucking nobody because my mic wasn't working. So go on.
Bro, how Vegas just continues to do the most Vegas of Vegas things, I feel like. And it's like all we needed them to do as far as, the Stars taking the lead today was beat them. And we can't even count on them to do that. Goes into a shootout. Dallas wins that shootout, and, now they're back in first in the Central, but it's a very, very tight race right now in the Central. And it's like you can't really we were actually going to talk Nuggets, but since they were kind of locked in and then we had some stuff go down in the week, we were trying to get a special guest on, but we're gonna push that episode back. We're trying to make it 3 for 3 guests episodes for starting this back up, but we decided to talk Avs tonight. So, yeah, man, it is heating up. I mean, because we got because Minnesota just got us off that. Shouts out to my fantasy team, but also that's still a team that I wouldn't want to face healthy in the playoffs just because of the style of hockey that they play.
Right.
I would rather have Vegas. I would rather have Dallas. I'd rather have basically anyone other than Minnesota if it comes down to it, just because I feel like they are that talented of a team this year.
But they're so streaky, man. That's the thing, is that they're super streaky.
Yeah.
I mean, in the long run, is it worth it to play Minnesota? I don't think so. I mean, you're going to get a better test out of Dallas anyways. I mean, I'd much rather beat the better teams than have the shit one right at the start. But I mean, the way it sits right now, we'd be playing Seattle.
I mean, we'd be playing Seattle, yeah. So I feel like that's a wax for us. I mean, Evan kind of said it best in the group chat. That's going to be just that could go fine. It could probably be a gentleman's sweep if we're being serious.
And Copley's confirmed for tonight, so it's going to be Copley against probably who's probably going to be? I didn't check Twitter today. Let me see.
Edmonton. They got to go with.
So they're playing against Copley, so it's probably Georgie, right? It's going to have to be Georgie tonight.
Yeah.
And Byram is out.
They did take Francois on the road trip though with them.
And
so
Frankie,
I don't know if you're going to see him at some point, or maybe against Anaheim. Maybe is more his game.
There you go. Francois will start tomorrow against Anaheim.
Gotcha.
Saw that earlier today when I was loading this up. So he's in.
Gotcha.
Lehkonen, Helm, Makar, Landeskog, no timetable.
That's tough,
same,
dude.
And Manson too. And then add tonight, no Bo Byram. Bo Byram out tonight. So
that better be like an LBI, because I swear if it's like, I don't know, if it's anywhere near his head, like
it looks like it's illness for tonight.
Okay. Calming down a little bit.
Not sure. Yeah, it looks like it's just illness tonight, so that's fine.
Gotcha.
Could be worse. But I mean, I saw it today. It was since March, I think it was March 12th. The Avs are 12-3. I mean, I'll take that 12-3 mark for the amount of shit we were in for a long time there.
Yeah, I mean, I put it out in a tweet this morning. I don't know if you got a chance to look at that, but since January, and I was just kind of going off what they were saying the San Jose game prior, but that's were in a dark spot in January, man. I mean, we were reeling after. You and I were texting back and forth after that Blackhawks loss, and like, okay, like there might be something a little bit more serious going on with this team as far as like, it's not going to be a cakewalk this year. And just to go from being 8 teams behind, basically the one spot, 14 points out, and they go on this run despite all the guys that they've had out. Like, let's dial it back for a second. Like our sister cast, the Surge cast, that's also a part of 5GSN. They've had to have their woes with their injuries the last couple episodes with Svechnikov going out. But oh man, it's not even comparable, bro. We've missed over 430 missed games this year. As far as people not being available, us dealing with AHL call-ups. The fact that they're even fighting for this spot just is a testament that this knows how to turn it on when it's time to turn it on, in my opinion. And that's exactly what we've seen, 12-3, like you said, man.
Right. And I mean,
and they kind of got over their California blues, bro. Like, they know how to win in the state of California.
I mean, I put it out there for the San Jose game. I was like, this is not a place we are known to win in. That and Honda Center. I don't give a shit how bad the Ducks are.
We always lose to the
Avs
Ducks.
can't
It seems
fucking
like
win in California. It feels like
we always lose to the Ducks.
Like it's nuts. But going back to your point, here you go. I'll break it down for you. This is from Jesse Montana. Landeskog 76 games, Helm 64, Byram 38. Going to be 39 tonight. This is from April 5th, so this is obviously missing a few games. Byram 38, Nichushkin 29, Makar 16, Lehkonen 14, Rodriguez 14, McKinnon 12, and yet the Avs are still atop the Central.
That's not even talking about
with a game in hand.
I don't think. Did you include
No.
Manson in that list?
Manson's not even in there.
Yeah, so that Manson's missed 50 some odd games.
Josh Manson 49 as well.
Jeez, dude.
And then don't forget about EJ.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Francois. I mean,
how we're at the spot that we're at continues to amaze me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just how are we and like it's the culture, bro. It's the culture of that winning team. And we talked about this preseason, man. Kings are very real. This is going to be a great game tonight. And honestly, for the Avs here, I don't know. Like they didn't play their best hockey against San Jose, but they ended up getting the win because it was San Jose, really. And all you really have to worry about is EK65 on that team now.
But you can't. Well, here's the thing that concerned me though. You blew a 3-0 lead in the third.
Yeah.
Like I understand. Okay, we're gonna sit back a little bit, but I mean, you can't fucking sit back that much. You really can't.
No. Like you'd much rather have them, close that game out the way that we know that they can. And you should net 7 against that club.
Right.
6 to 7 goals. And it's tough because you have to recognize that this team isn't last year's team. We don't have a 90-plus point Nazem Kadri centering the second line. Although JTC, he's done pretty well as far as just filling in. He's had a great year as far as that's concerned. But this team is not last year's team, which is why I'm actually really excited to see just kind of where this goes. Because
well, and I mean you got Dallas, the fucking overtime merchants.
Yeah.
Between them and Minnesota, that's an extra 10 points for Minnesota, an extra 14 for Dallas. I mean, like that. Those are not teams that are going to survive in the playoffs. This is completely on my opinion here. Okay, so let me go on my fucking soapbox for a second.
Yeah,
the teams that have 10 plus overtime losses don't survive in the playoffs. They don't. I mean. Well, let me just go back 1 year even, okay? Let's go back to 21-22. Colorado's the best fucking team in the entire league. 7 overtime losses. Minnesota, 7. St. Louis, 11. What happened to St. Louis? They got the wheels beat off them. That series shouldn't have gone 6. And if it wasn't for the Avs just blowing an absolute ungodly goal from Nathan McKinnon to make it a hat trick in Game 5, that series is done in 5. Colorado finishes that with a 16-3 instead of 16-4. Okay. Calgary, 11 overtime losses. They barely get out of the first round.
Yeah.
Edmonton, 6 OT losses. Get their fucking wheels beat off because it's Mike Smith. Haha. Los Angeles, 11 overtime losses. Don't get out of the first round. I mean, it's very obvious. I mean, hell, even let's go to the other side. Pittsburgh, 11 overtime losses. Don't get out of the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tampa only has 8. They get out of it. Okay. Washington, 12 overtime losses. Don't get out of the first round. You don't have teams who have these high number of OTLs who go far in the playoffs. I mean, we can talk about goal differential all night long, right? That's what everyone's just oohing and awing over Boston right now. Florida had 94, a plus 94 goal diff last year. Okay. Colorado had a plus 78. Whose name's on the cup? Who got bounced in the first round? I mean, shit, man. I can go even back. I don't want to look at the COVID year. The COVID year is probably a shitty one to look at. I mean, 2018-19, Pittsburgh, 12 OT losses. I think they got ousted in the second round because I think they beat the Islanders in round 1. On the other side of it, Colorado 14 overtime losses, and they go in and beat, but they win and they went and beat Calgary again. Mike Smith,
Yeah,
it's kind of your own fucking fault. So, I mean, someone who Colorado wants to see forever and always, Mike Smith between the pipes. Please and thank you. I will love to see you forever. But let's look at it realistically. Colorado has 2 games in hand on Dallas. Let's call it 4 points. Okay.
Yeah.
Game in hand on Minnesota. So really they're 4 points up on Minnesota right now when they're 2 up on Dallas. If we're extrapolating this out. Okay. Which means Dallas, Minnesota. Let those 2 beat the shit out of each other. Please, for the love of God, let them beat the shit out of each other. Let that go 7. Okay.
Exactly.
I mean, Minnesota's hurting. They just lost 2 more guys. They just got Kaprizov back. So, I mean, really it's a net 1. Okay.
Yeah. Because they lost Jeek and who else?
I think it was Greenway.
Someone else. Greenway.
I think it was Greenway. But
yeah.
I mean, take those 2, extrapolate that out. I mean, Winnipeg and Calgary are in a fucking dead heat for that last playoff spot. Quite frankly, I don't care who we see out of those 2. If it comes down to that, I don't care who you see out of that. We won't see them because Vegas is a runaway train right now. Even with Colorado having 3 in hand, they're still a point back of Vegas.
Yeah.
And again, they're not overtime merchants on that either, man. I mean, 44 regulation OT wins. Colorado's got 41. I mean, that's another team I would be happy just to stay away from.
I mean, I feel like we've said this before. It was going to be very tough. It was going to be very tough this year for the Avs to actually get that number 1 overall in the conference seed. Just with where they were at in January. Like, I'm like, this is almost mathematically impossible. Now, now you're kind of seeing the numbers play out. And yet I would still rather face Vegas. I would rather face a Dallas. I would rather face even like an Edmonton. Minnesota scares me, bro. Like, there's something about that team. Like, Gustafsson, super underrated right now. That team, with him having to kind of step up and be the guy, with Kaprizov being out the last month, like, he had to carry them to some wins. He's been posting like 970 plus, like the past month. He doesn't lose games very often. I mean, we saw it that night when the Avs played the Wild. It was a close game, dude. Like, that game, back and forth style to where both teams are making adjustments on the fly. We didn't get that with Dallas, Well, we don't get that with most other teams. Like,
let's call it the way it was. The Minnesota game, you have a bad step from Cale Makar on the power play, leads to a shorthanded goal, and not being able to clear the zone by Girard. Simple as that. And that's the 2 goals that turned that game on its head. But I vividly remember you and I were sitting. You were sitting in Colorado. I was obviously sitting here in Texas. We were sitting here on one of these streams, and it was after was it the Vancouver loss or the loss against the Blackhawks? One of the 2.
Hawks, I think.
We were sitting here, and I vividly remember I went off because I said it should have been a warning sign when we lost to Arizona on the 27th of December, 6-3 in Arizona. And then we dropped 5 in a row, only one after the extra time, picked 1 back, and then dropped 2 more. And the one against Chicago was the one that we all went, oh shit.
Like, okay. Yeah.
I mean,
and then when we ended up beating Vancouver, like the very next week or so, I think was when we played them again.
Yep.
It was like, okay, like, this team could be back, because that was a team that we couldn't beat all year, like you said. And I'm just like, why? It's the Canucks. Like, come on, boys.
But I mean, here's been the nice part too. Outside of that 3-game stretch in early March where they lost to New Jersey, Dallas, and Seattle. Look, those are 3 playoff teams. Those are 3 really goddamn good teams. Okay.
Yeah. New Jersey's a wagon, dude. Like,
I mean, you got blown out by Dallas, but Joe Pavelski scored. You knew you were going to lose at that point. I turned the game off. When Pavelski scored, I turned the game off. I'm like, that's a loss. We're good. I'm good.
He just has a habit of doing that against us, man.
He's an avalanche killer. I will forever and always say he is a fucking avalanche killer, and he will always kill Colorado. Until we get him on this team, he's going to kill Colorado. End of story. I mean, for fuck's sake. I didn't like that it took to OT to beat San Jose. Whatever. Nathan McKinnon goes God mode like usual for his 100th point. Color me shocked. Sierra gets the fucking bump for McKinnon dropping 2 that night. I mean, and you're going into your 78th game without your captain. He's skating. Good sign. Is it going to work out? I don't know if we even see him in the first round. Quite frankly, he's looked good skating, but he hasn't looked like himself skating. And all the videos that Brendan Votts put up from Family Sports, which, dude, shout out to that fucking guy because he does so much work.
Dude.
Like,
yes,
you can go to his page and he's got nothing but updates and updates and updates. It is amazing how much that dude is at Family Sports and up in Loveland.
Yeah.
And by the way, confirmed Georgiev tonight for Colorado. So Georgiev versus Copley.
Gotcha. Copley will have those nights where he goes like beast mode, and then he'll have nights where he kind of disappears too.
I picked him up. He was on a fucking heater.
He was on a tear when you got him. Like, I don't even remember when that was really, but it was a while back, man. I mean, you picked him up
early, super early.
So,
I mean, and also let's talk about the other part of this too. Eagles have just clinched home ice for the first round.
Fact.
So they clinched home ice for first round. Next weekend is their last regular season home weekend. I got that info from our great friend Reed Saunders. So it's going to be this is Reed's last year, so it's kind of his farewell tour. Sierra and I are currently trying to figure out how the hell we're going to get back for at least one game to listen to Reed announce one last game, but don't know if that's going to work out.
Jared, crazy kind of story. You know who's filling in for that guy once Reed leaves?
Isn't it Hunter? Is Hunter not doing it?
Actually, yeah, it is.
Yeah, Hunter.
For a little bit, and then I think they're going to bring on like a contingency of guys to kind of fill his role, because what he did for them was really just, it's not talked about enough what he brought to them, and like the Rockies for that matter too.
He has been with the Eagles since the Eagles opened their doors at Budweiser Event Center. That's how long he's been with them. He got his start there, and that's what kind of got him in. And now he's doing stuff with he's the backup with the Broncos. He's obviously the guy at the Rockies. And I mean, you want to talk about like a voice of God. We talk about Alan Roach, like this huge guy, right? He's been with the Broncos forever. Reed Saunders doesn't get talked about enough. He doesn't. And I mean, when he goes and fills in at Avs games too, you can hear that
the difference, really. Right. And that's something that like you and I kind of got used to. I feel like just working so many Eagles games back in the day.
Used to, oh my god, it was my favorite part.
It was so great.
It was man.
It was fantastic. Like just hearing that stuff.
I have a fun Reed story before we get into a little bit more about tonight's matchup. I got two fun Reed stories.
Yeah.
That first Kelly Cup run. Okay. Reed obviously was the PA guy, and I've been DJing all that entire season. And there was one song that I played in warm-ups a little bit throughout the regular season, kind of sporadically here and there. And Reed asked me, he's like, can you play this every night? Because I'd look down every single time and he's just fucking in the box, just jamming out. Cause he's there before everything else. He's there at warm-ups and he's just jamming out. And so I picked up on it. I was like, okay, let's do that. And so I would play that every single night for every single game. I would always play it because it was just one of those, it was like a tradition at that point. It was almost like I would call it a superstition, because once the first round of playoffs started, I didn't change the warm-up mix at all. The only thing I added was the Yodel kid from who was popular at the time, that yodeling Walmart kid. And so they were in South Carolina, and I don't remember what we were doing. I don't think. No, so we had that one, and there was Joey Rattel was on the team at the time, and the warm-up mix had a lot of different songs, but it had like two or three Drake songs in there, which Father Phil Gladden did not like. He fucking hated the fact that I had so many Drake songs in there. And I remember God's Plan was really popular at the time. So we had that in there too. So it was queued up to a very, very specific point. And I remember we looked down one night and fucking Joey Rattel was dancing to God's Plan during warm-ups. It was the funniest thing. But Reed's song was actually We Them Boys, oddly enough, which that was kind of funny. And then the next year it was the Mac, the newer version, not the older Return of the Mac.
Okay.
It was the newer version. So we'd play that. I'd play that in the last, like, I think it's like 90 seconds of warm-ups, just so he could listen to it. But then he told me, God, it must have been a couple years ago now. We were reminiscing about it. Actually, we were actually sitting on his back porch after they just clinched in Florida in Game 7 when I was up at the watch party doing the watch party.
Yeah.
There was a Rockies game that night, and Reed said, "Come over. We got to have some drinks after that." I was like, "Okay." And we were just sitting there talking. He's like, there was one song I always listened to on the way up to the barn, and I didn't know that he had like a certain playlist. He's very superstitious. He's like another hockey dude, and it was Paris by the Chainsmokers. So the next year, when he got there for opening night, and we have all the we had that fucking run sheet of a shitload of reads after warm-ups and everything else. I went and found the instrumental for Paris and played it, and he literally stopped after one of his reads and clicked his headset on and said, "Is this fucking Paris by Chainsmokers?" Just quickly chime back in. "Yep, Reed, that is." He just goes, I guess he just nodded his head going, "Okay."
That's awesome.
But I mean, you want to talk about like excitement, man. Reed Saunders is a guy. There was a fucking, what was it? It was round 4 against South Carolina. Game went to double overtime. If we went to overtime, we knew at some point it was going to go 2 or 3 because there's no 1 overtime games in Loveland.
Never
in the playoffs.
Dude.
It's 2 or 3,
goes.
and we're sitting there going, "Here we go. All right, beer sales have stopped. People are going to get fucking antsy," and the crowd was always into it too. But I remember he scored. I think it was Matt Register, oddly enough, scored the game winner against South Carolina that night, and I remember he announced it, and like he was just so pumped. It sounded like a WWE ring announcer. And I wish I could find that video, but it was just phenomenal. Like that call was just great. Yeah. But yeah, enough good things cannot be said about Reed. I mean, he did our VO for the Open. He's done so much cool shit for us. He really has.
Yeah, he's amazing, man. One of my just kind of quick Reed stories was when we just like the media meals that we used to have with the Eagles, and it was during can't remember the game, but I do remember what the meal of that night. It was Qdoba. They brought in like the big like queso vats and stuff.
That was like once every like 2 weeks. It felt like.
Yeah, they did that a lot. It was like Qdoba, and they did what was the other place that was close to there that they? I don't know, but it was just one of those things to where we were. I was going down to get like some more like queso just for pregame because I didn't eat like a lot that day, like I remember. And I bump into this guy pregame down there. And I'm looking at the queso, he's looking at the queso. I look up, he looks up, and he's like, "What's up, Joel?" And he's like looking at the queso, and he's just looking up at me. And just like this was a fresh that they like just put out like the second one type thing, so it was like steaming and stuff. Like You had to kind of be there for this moment. But he's like, you know what they say? It's like when the queso is hot, so are the Eagles, and he said it just in like that. Like, I can't replicate it, but it was just like it was one of those moments that like I had to bite my tongue because I was about to be like, dude, like I was about to just like die of laughter just because like he speaks like that on just like a regular, like people don't realize like that's just legit his voice and like how he sort of goes about his day. Like that's how he talks.
It's not an announcer voice. That's literally his voice.
That's
like
his
he doesn't
voice.
Have to like he doesn't have to change anything.
Yeah, he doesn't need an announcer's voice because that's literally how he talks. And like
right.
I just remember that being like something that stood out to me, like when I had that interaction with that game.
had a random fuzzy on my
Man.
fucking hat, man. Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
I saw it and I was like, nope, can't have that.
Yeah, I always gotta check
Sierra got me a new hat for our
this hat.
anniversary, so I get to wear my nice new CCM hat.
I can't see it. I gotta turn it to brightest on my screen.
Yeah,
But
you have
CCM?
to. I mean, it's a nice little CCM hat.
There we go.
Because my old Bauer one that I got when I was working at the rink in 13 is a little bit yuck, a little bit crusty. It's got some good life out of it, so
Hey.
it could be worse. But back to tonight. So we have obviously I can't stand these 9:30 starts for me, 8:30 starts for you. I can't stand it because I don't get any fucking sleep. Poor Sierra's got to watch the goddamn game in the living room.
10:30 on the East Coast, like it's just it's always with the
fucking poor Shaggy, man. They got to do a late recap too. Fuck me.
He's gonna be starting that at like midnight his time. Like that's
if he's lucky, midnight.
If he's lucky.
I mean, and you talked about our sister podcast earlier. Fucking Hurricanes blow a lead.
That was tough to see, dude.
I mean, you hate to see it, but I mean, it's not really our conference, so
no. And to be quite frank, at the Surge Cast, 9-3-2 in your really tough division that you guys keep preaching about, despite our injuries. So this is a full invitation to like we want the smoke, like we're ready for it. It's time. So I had to say that. I've been wanting to say that for a long time. It's just eluded my mind. And
I gotta get Jules to clip it and put it up on fucking socials and be like, "Hey,
9-3
shit again."
9-3-2 against the vaunted Metropolitan Conference, bro. Come
on. Winnipeg just scored. They're up 2-0 on Nashville now. Okay. While they're going back on the power play.
Nashville, they're basically fighting for their lives at this point.
Yes, they are. I mean, Minnesota's back.
Like couple.
Yeah, Minnesota's back on the power play here. I've got them pulled up on this screen. I got you over here. I mean, Nashville's only 1 point back of the second wild card, so they got to win out. They got to win out. They got to get some help. I mean, for sure. But so here you go. You got no Bo. You got no Manson. You got no McCarr. You call up Brad Hunt. I mean, you are playing with a fucking patchwork defense tonight in a very important game in the standings. I mean, G and Taves are probably going to play 24, 26 minutes tonight at least.
Oh, dude, easily. I mean, man. Yeah, just with it feels like we haven't had one game with a healthy blue line this year. Like it really does seem like it. Like that's not me being facetious or homeristic. Like that's me being like just looking at our lineups that we put out night in and night out. And it's tough because we know what that lineup can do healthy. And even more tough because this is a super pivotal game for us as far as that chase for that overall, home ice throughout the West. And it's going to take a collective effort tonight defensively because the Kings are no joke. They can. There's a reason why their games end 7-6 most nights. Regardless,
and there's a reason why I picked them to be a playoff contender this year. When we did our preseason preview for the previous group we were with, I said watch out for LA.
Both of us, bro. Both of us were on the Kings train early because we were even talking about that, like just for fun, like before even the season started, like way back in the off season. We were like, bro, the Kings could be really good this year. Like,
right. I mean, you had Fiala. You really have a good youth group there, and now they're they're really starting to blossom into that. I mean, Quentin Byfield coming back too, that helps. I mean.
And let's be fair, like we got some friends of the show that are in the Kings ionosphere. Trap Wagon, we're looking at you. You the homie on Twitter for sure. You tell me every time Adrian Kempe scores a goal and then my fantasy team rejoices and things. So, but yeah, dude, they're a solid team. And the one thing that we said because you were harping on, like, if they get a goal, dude, like, they get someone who can just go on a run, like, watch out for them, because they got the defense for it. I was like, bro, be careful with the Fiala Arvidsson reconnection, because the last time they were together in Nashville, they did some work. Like, they were a big part of their Stanley Cup run back in the day. So, like, just seeing that all sort of coalesce this year, and then you still have, guys like Adrian Kempe, and it's just a monstrous team, dude. I saw what Velarde could do at the beginning of the season. If he gets hot again, that's tough out.
I mean,
like, I'm sure both of us think that they could give Edmonton a run for their money / eliminate them if it comes down to them playing Edmonton round one. I don't care about this regular season stuff. When it comes down to it, you know what they did to them last year in the playoffs. Let's be serious for a second.
Well, and let's just talk about what Dallas did to Calgary early on. You don't sleep on a wild card team anymore. You can't. I mean, really, it started back when the Kings were an 8 seed and they just went and ran train on everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, and you okay over there?
Sierra, are you good?
Everyone's concerned about you now, honey. We can hear you hacking up along.
Are you alive?
I mean, I don't see much movement in the Pacific. I don't think Edmonton catches Vegas, especially when they have to play Colorado next week. I mean, there you go. There's your upcoming schedule at the bottom. I put a lot of work in before you joined, obviously.
Appreciate you, my guy.
I mean, I don't even think, I'll be honest with you, I don't even think Colorado catches Vegas. I don't think Colorado takes. I don't think Colorado takes first in the West, because Colorado has to win out. They got to win out their last 5, get 10 points. Vegas can only win 1, and they have to lose that last game. Actually,
yeah.
No, yeah. Colorado has to win 5 of 5, and Vegas has to lose their last game in regulation or overtime. Doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And then Colorado would have the tiebreaker would have the road tiebreaker. And that's the only way Colorado wins the West. And guess what? I don't give a fuck about the West. I've never given a fuck about the West. You care about one thing and one thing only. June. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And is this a team that goes deep? Absolutely. I said at the start of the year when I was on Grit and Barrett for their session of Game Over, I said it early in the year. Georgiev could be the catalyst or could be the hurting. And so far, he has been the fucking catalyst, 100%. What that fucking save on, I don't remember who it was, but Jacob McDonald passed it over a few nights ago in overtime in San Jose. That fucking save he makes an OT. I'm sorry, Kemper doesn't make that save. Varlamov doesn't make that save. Jonas Johansson doesn't make that fucking save.
Grubauer does not make that save.
Hell no, he does not make that save.
There's a flair to his game, bro. He makes the big saves, man.
If this is to happen,
the show-stopping saves.
You see this right here. If this is to happen,
Zach, what's up, brother?
I will lose my fucking mind.
Avs Kane Stanley Cup Finals. Please.
Can you imagine the content?
Oh my goodness, dude.
By the way, these ticket prices for round 1, are you fucking kidding me?
They're insane.
$250 for third deck.
They're insane. I'm trying to go to the Thursday game myself, and
dude, this is some fucking bullshit. $250 for third deck. I'm waiting to see what the Stars tickets look like, because please, I know we want to be first in the Central Division. I really understand that, but if I need to cheer for Minnesota, it'll hurt my heart to do it. But if it comes down to it, where Colorado can play Dallas in the first round, or even the second round for that matter, so I can go down and see it, because, the Mavericks decided to fuck around and find out last night by sitting everybody. Dude, and does that ruin that one for me?
Mavs have been toast since Kyrie entered the chat, man. Let's be real.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, yeah. But
it doesn't work for them. I would
love to just have that happen, but I know it won't. But I mean, maybe I get lucky and they end up playing the second round here or something. If they do, I don't know if I'll be able to stomach it, because the amount of shit I got last year was good enough during the playoffs from all my from the beer league boys who are down here, and I mean they know I'm Colorado through and through. And I mean, what was it, game? Oh shit, who are they playing? It was the finals. It was game 3. was on like Monday night or something, and we play on Mondays. And I was like, I'm gonna go play hockey because there's no way you get beat 7-0 in Denver and don't come back and pump the shit out of Colorado in game 3. And sure enough, I was right. And I was like, whatever, you chalk that shit up to a team pissed off and a good team like Tampa Bay. But I mean, in all reality, the last 3 teams who are vying for a playoff spot, 7 of 8 spots are spoken of in the West. The last 3 teams who realistically have a chance: Winnipeg, Calgary, Nashville. Who do you got?
Winnipeg's been playing kind of weird. I'm not sure if I can really trust them. Honestly, man, like I gotta say, just from looking at it, I wouldn't be surprised. Nashville again. Like, if we're being real, just because, like, I know Winnipeg's beating them right now, but you still got some games left. Between Saros and Hellebuck, bro, Hellebuck's been having a great year, like a fantastic year. But I feel I just have this gut feeling that Nashville is going to somehow do some things. Because Calgary, I'm not really sure I can trust. Just from watching them all year. And I mean this with the utmost respect to Nazem Kadri. Utmost respect. They're a fun team to watch, don't get me wrong. But with Calgary, bro, like, it's just kind of this wishy-washy sort of, some nights they're super in it, and other nights it's just like, oh, it's like a little campfire.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Sometimes maybe. Yeah. So I think just for that reason, it'll be Nashville, because I don't know if Winnipeg can keep it together type thing, even though they are beating Nashville right now.
Yeah. I mean, Winnipeg's last 3 games, San Jose, Minnesota, Colorado, that sucks.
That's it.
Nashville, Calgary, Minnesota, Colorado.
Yeah.
That sucks for either team. That's a brutal schedule for either team coming out. I mean, Calgary, they fucking lost to the Blackhawks too.
Yeah.
In a pivotal game.
4-3. I mean, we should be thanking them. Honestly, the Hawks gave us that clinch. We didn't even clinch without having to do anything. We just needed to push it into overtime.
Right.
Because of Vegas and the Wild going into overtime. A shootout, which happened again tonight with Dallas, bro.
I'm so fucking tired of these shootouts,
wild.
Man.
It's wild, bro. It's absolutely insane.
So here's kind of the craziest part, though. Okay, to clinch the Central, okay, Colorado needs to win 5 of 5, flat out. They got to win 5 of 5, okay, or get some help, which they got fucking none of it tonight.
None. We never get help, dude. We never get help. I'm like, okay, dude. Like, the only thing that this Vegas Minnesota game needs to not do is it doesn't need to go into overtime. We just need a regulation win.
Yep.
Nah.
But I mean, so we got to go 5-5. If you want to at least get the second seed, got to win 3 games. Okay, that's easy enough to do. Dallas, to get at least the second's got to win 2 games. Okay, that includes tonight's games. So, I mean, so with Dallas winning today, they still got to win 2 more.
Yeah.
I mean, Minnesota, they don't control any ounce of their destiny to get to any of those spots. But those 3 are pretty much locked up. I mean, Jets pretty much got to go 4 for 4. Preds pretty much got to go 4 for 4. I mean, Flames need some help. That's all they can hope for. I mean, playoffstatus.com is a great resource. It's like Hockey Reference. It's a fucking awesome resource.
Yeah.
I mean, who's kind of going to be the X factor tonight? You know, you got a shit ton of guys out. And let's exclude that first grouping of McKinnon and Rantanen, right? You know they're going to drive the bus. They've been driving the bus really well for the last few games. I mean, in all reality, who is that guy who's going to kind of just fucking take it over tonight?
The guy that steps up tonight, I'm feeling like it's going to be an Evan Rodriguez type game. high scoring. He's been playing well in the top line. He's a guy that doesn't get affected by, all those defensive changes. I mean, maybe he does with, our top line being decimated, but everyone does. But you're still playing. You're still getting that added benefit of playing with DOGG and Rantanen. So I think Rodriguez might pop off for a few points tonight, whether it be assists or goals. He's going to be pivotal in getting those guys that puck the same way the second line needs to continue to get Val Nichushkin the puck right now.
I want to ask you this other question before you kick it back to me. Mm-hmm. You asked me this a few episodes ago when we didn't post it, but it was just a live stream.
Yeah.
You asked me this. You said, "Does Rantanen get to 50 goals?" I said, "I don't think so." He does. He gets to 52, which is just fucking hilarious that he gets 50 and then boom, 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 like next 3 shots are in the fucking
hat trick. That was beautiful. That was his 3rd hat trick.
Yeah.
Of the season, which is why I had to reply to you. I was like, hat trick. Like
5 games remaining on the schedule. Okay.
Yeah.
Does Nathan McKinnon get to 40 goals? He's at 37.
I think so.
5 games remaining.
I think so. Just because.
I said with Mikko, I said he's basically got to go on a goal per game pace, and fuck me, he did it.
Mm-hmm. So I think Mac does hit 47 goals because mainly, bro, like I brought this up preseason on this very show. We talked about how's Mac going to perform after he gets this nice lucrative deal. And I think both of us were kind of on the same page with this, but I was like, dude, he's going to have the most happy-go-lucky season after winning the Stanley Cup and getting that big, that big weight off his shoulders finally lifted. He's played free and clear this season, and it's a testament to how he's played. Like, he's on a 2-point pace. He's missed, 17 games?
Something like that. He's only played in 66 of the possible 77.
Yeah. So 11 games. I was a little bit off. But still, 100 points only playing in 66 games at this point. That's insane. Like, that doesn't happen by accident. And just the way he's playing on the ice, you can just tell. He's, like, to our credit, we called it correct. Like, this dude's going to be playing a lot more free, a lot more just I can finally sort of relax, and it benefits him.
And did he have like the quietest 100-point season ever?
Yeah,
he had to have. I mean, that was like also like we blink is like, oh fuck, he's got 100 points.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Didn't even notice.
I think he hits 47 no problem, especially with just the weight that they're expected to carry now with Makar and all those guys kind of being. We can kind of take it easy with these guys maybe for the last couple of games. It seems like.
Right. I mean, it almost feels like to use the NBA term, rest, maintenance days. They're on maintenance at this point.
Which, to be fair, there should be a lot more. It should be reversed because the NBA takes us to an extreme.
Yeah,
there should be a lot more maintenance days in hockey than there are in the NBA, and it's a sick, twisted world we live in, folks.
So I'm looking at Hockey Reference. Did you know that Curtis McDermott has played 41 fucking games for the Avalanche?
Jesus Christ! If you would have said that at the beginning of the year and asked where our standings, where we'd be in the Central, I'd say wild card.
Brad Hunt has played 43, and he's going to play a 44th tonight.
Yeah. And we've been able to hide him with Makar usually. So that's going to be really interesting. That's going to be super interesting tonight, actually. I'm worried for that.
Here's a fun one. Can you name the 4 players who have played in all 77 games up to tonight?
4
players. And they're all forwards.
All forwards. Let's see. It's not Rodriguez.
Nope.
Because he's missed some games. It's not Leck. It's not Mac. It's not Rance. It's definitely not Landeskog in an inverse timeline.
Obviously, he hasn't played a fucking game. Well, no shit.
Yeah, no.
Wasn't the greatest one there.
I'm just vamping here for a sec. I'm trying to think. I'm not doing this with any sort of database or catalog. I'm just kind of going down the line here. JTC.
JTC is one of them. Yes.
Yeah.
50 points in 77, by the way.
He's
50
killed it, man.
points. He's a 50-point scorer. That's a true 2 center right there. You expect 50 points.
Yeah. We said he was going to have a career year, did we not? Both of us? We smart.
And
I don't know.
hold on, let me pump him a little more. He's 48.9% in the circle. Yeah, that's a fucking 2C.
Okay.
JT 2C.
JT2C, baby. You know, honestly, dude, if Boston wasn't going on the absolute like tear that they had been, and Patrice Bergeron wasn't in the chat, like he could very well be like, you know, we're talking about him not as like a finalist for the Selke, but like maybe, you know, a little bit of like there's something there to that because he's played really well defensively.
Okay, so you got JTC. You got 3 more.
Yeah.
I love these games. We play these games all the time.
We do. Let's see. We got JTC is 1. I'm gonna have to say maybe New Hook.
New Hook is another one. Yep.
Okay. Has McDermott played forward for us this year? Does that count?
He's only played defense.
Okay.
He's only played 41 games.
Okay. Because I didn't know if like healthy by mean because he's had some scratches this year and stuff.
Yeah, no.
That haven't had to do with health, I don't think. But okay. So 2 more.
2 more.
JTC, New Hook.
The last 2 are right wingers.
Why am I?
You're gonna hear them both and be pissed.
Yeah, probably.
If you don't get them, you're gonna hear them be like, "Are you shitting me?"
Oh, I am drawing a bit of a blank. LOC.
Yep, there you go. That's number 3. One more.
And the last one. Ooh, Ben Myers is a left wing. I don't think that counts really.
No, and Ben Myers has only played 35 games.
Yeah. But he's been healthy for all of them. So I don't know if by health you meant.
They played in all 77 games.
Got you. Last one. You say he's another right winger?
Another right winger.
Let's see. I'm drawing a blank on this one. I'm gonna be real. It's probably something I'm gonna.
Would you like to give up?
Yes, for that last one.
The most recent 50-goal scorer for the Colorado Avalanche, Mikko Rantanen.
Oh, Mikko. Jesus fucking.
77 games, 52-46 for 98 with a plus
How could
17.
I forget Mikko, bro? Oh.
Averaging
Man,
22-15 TOI, 293 shots for 17.7 shooting percentage.
You know, that was sneaky, bro, because you got me off the tangent of not talking about the top guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I went all the way down the roster thinking about, like, okay, like second, third, fourth.
Next 2 closest guys who've only missed 2 games apiece, Devon Taves and Andrew Cogliano.
Jeez.
Samuel Girard has only missed 6 games as well.
Sammy G, dude, talk about underrated this year.
I mean, AJ put out that great piece. I went back and quote tweeted it. That was a fucking great piece. Phenomenal piece.
Yeah.
All right. My game breaker for tonight, just so you know.
Question for you
go
real
ahead.
quick before your game breaker. Because since you sprung that on me, and this will have to do with Mikko again.
Okay.
Our topic of the night for the second segment here, second half. Do you think Mikko sets, because of that Hattie he had, and I wouldn't be bringing this up if he hadn't have done that, but do you think he gets the season record, franchise record for goals?
What's the record at?
57. Goulet has it.
Who has it?
Goulet, believe it or not.
Oh, so it's franchise. It's not just
franchise.
It's not just Avs. It's
not just Avs. I'm talking Nordiques and Avs, but Michel Goulet has that.
Goal per game.
57 would beat it. 56 would tie it.
56 ties it. Okay, so goal per game on the way out.
Yeah.
hold on. I'm gonna look at Miko's stats real quick. Hold on. It's just his last few games. Game log. I don't care about that. He's gonna have to go on a tear, and against Copley, who's really good up high. Tonight, I don't really favor that matchup for Miko or McKinnon for that matter. I mean, McKinnon can beat guys anywhere. We know that, but we both know they both favor that high shot.
Yeah,
I mean,
Miko,
if Miko's
especially
gonna
when he drops to that knee or just on that patented sort of
one timer,
shot.
yeah. If he's going to do it tonight, it's going to be on a deflection on the power play off to the side of net from McKinnon. That patented backdoor deflection that they started really using heavily in the 18 playoff series against Calgary. When they tied it to put it into OT, I was there that night. It was fucking magical. I would say it's going to take one of those tonight because Copley's not going to get beat up high. If he is, it's going to be on a weird like screen shot. But Miko's not really a guy who shoots through a screen. He's more of a get some open space, make sure I got enough whip on it by extending the stick, which is to his detriment at times. But I don't think he gets to 57. I don't.
No.
I think he gets to 56 and he ties the all-time franchise record. I don't think he beats the franchise record though. Unfortunately, I think it's one of those. He's close, but he doesn't get it at that point.
Got you. So he'll tie it then.
Yes,
he'll get an Avs franchise record, is what you're saying.
Yes, I think he will set the Avs franchise record, which I don't believe is that high. Let's see. 57. So the highest was 54 by Joe Sakic in 2000-2001, and he's at 52. I think he breaks the Avalanche record. I don't think he breaks Michel Goulet's 57. I think he at a minimum gets into a tie for third at 55, but I don't know if he goes beyond that.
Got you. Who's second on that, by the way?
Michel Goulet.
Okay.
Third is also Michel Goulet.
Gotcha.
He did it in 3 straight years of putting 57, 56, 55 respectively.
That's insane.
There's got to be a hat trick one. Where's the hat trick one?
If
Nico gets another hat trick, he goes into a tie for first with Peter Stastny, and I don't know. I'm not going to try and pronounce Miroslav's last fucking name because that's not worth it. I'll look like an asshole.
I saw one.
Hold on. Mikko could break this other record though. Hold on. There is a record Mikko can break. I do think this will happen. Of Mikko Rantanen's 50 goals this year, 41 have come even strength. He holds the Avalanche record. He's actually held it since goal 33, actually. Holy shit. Wow, Mikko's been on a tear. All he needs is 44 to break the even strength goals record for the Avs.
Wow.
That's all he would need.
He's really put the team on his back this year, bro.
And here's this. And I mean, it's not going to happen because we know Georgiev's not playing tomorrow night. If Georgiev goes 4 for 4 and Colorado wins the Central, he will tie Semyon Varlamov's 2013-14 for most wins in a season by an Avalanche goaltender at 41.
Just need to get your chance.
It should be worth noting, too. Hold on. It should be worth noting. Semyon Varlamov played 63 games that year. And Georgiev would only play in 62.
You know what they say, Jared? Let him out of New York and give him a defense.
Just put Colorado's defense in front of any fucking goaltender at this point. Copley would have Vezina numbers. My game breaker for tonight, Valeri Nichushkin. It's about time that Nuke Train got it back and rolling again. So Sierra actually knows a lot of the nicknames now, too, for the players. So Sierra knows Choo Choo. So She likes
Very
she
nice.
likes Choo Choo and
Choo Choo.
Erod, Spinny Boy,
Spin
Moose.
Boy.
She likes
Dornod.
Moose. As
Big
when we our
Moose.
next dog, I'm
By
trying
the
to make
way,
sure it's a boy, so I can name it Moose.
I was meaning to put this out for Av's Twitter psychic last game, but it's got to be Miko.
City comes out
It's got to be Miko for that Avs Twitter psychic
tonight.
No, I was gonna say like last night, or not last night, night before when we were playing the Sharks. I forgot to put it out in the tweet.
That's an L for you.
Yeah, big L. I was like going about my day. I'm like, you know what? Like Miko's probably gonna get one tonight, and he goes off for a hattie. And I'm like,
so who's yours tonight? Okay, so you got my game breaker. We got game breakers. As Twitter psychic, we will put it out tonight for the first time in what feels like forever. Who's your Avs Twitter psychic and why?
So my Avs Twitter psychic is Miko.
Okay.
Just because I do feel like he kind of continues his hot streak. He's playing really well right now, regardless of how good Phoenix Copley is playing, and regardless of how good he is on that high side. He still finds a way to get something in. Like it could be an early power play. So I've got him as my ATP tonight. I've already put it out on Twitter, but we'll re-release it, on MHP as well. But my game break, Jared, I'm actually kind of thinking eye to eye on this because my game break in this game, we're gonna need secondary scoring, which is why I love how you said Nichushkin, because I'm thinking about his line. I'm thinking about JT Compher, and I'm thinking about Dennis Malkin right now. Compher's played really well this year, but the last couple games, it just kind of seems like he's fallen off a little bit. And in tune, that's kind of affected Nichushkin down there. I feel like this is what we get when we don't have a healthy Lek. Like it sucks. We have to deal with things like this.
Yeah. For my money tonight, man, it's got to be Malgin.
Malgin, yeah.
Malgin.
Game break Malgin. Like
I think Malgin comes out.
He has to
because that game.
Like that line, like it's all about just them getting Nichushkin the puck.
And
like Malgin had a great little streak to start. Like, but let's be real, the killer on that line it's Nuke, bro. We've been watching him for years.
And it's not gonna be a pretty goal from Malgin either. It's gonna be greasy down low in the crease, pumping away at it, and he's gonna pop one in. Really quickly before we close this out, because we got to go get dinner before this game starts.
Yo.
St. Louis not helping the Avs at all tonight. 4-1 Minnesota and 2.
That's why.
Jets get their win against the Preds 2-0. And obviously Dallas winning in a shootout on a absolutely magical save by Jake Ottinger. Scoreboard watching looks like it's pretty much done for the night. We're at a point where we can't really scoreboard watch anymore, unfortunately. So it's now up to Colorado to take care of business and make sure they keep pace in the West.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one tonight. And to close out the season, really, for them. Nuggets kind of taking it easy because they clinched, so they're rightfully resting their guys. Like we don't want, someone to go down in a meaningless game against Utah with the history of that team. Want guys at their best. So, they actually played tonight, though. They played today. They played like a good 15, 20 minutes, but they're just trying to get like a rhythm. Sat the whole second half. Like they're fine out in Nuggets land. They're just kind of hanging out, waiting for the playoffs to start. There's a lot of people that are freaking out, but they're just like, you know what? Like, it's with this team, it's different, bro. Like when the playoffs start, they'll lock in, and like that should be that with them, basically.
And I'm going to tease it now. We have a special guest coming on next week.
Yep.
We're gonna talk Nuggets basketball, probably during the play-in games, and just kind of because then we'll have a better idea who the hell Colorado's going to play or Denver's going to play. So we got special guests coming in. We'll get that out on social so you guys can see it. But enjoy the game tonight, everybody. It's gonna be fun. It's another fucking late start, but thank God it's Saturday. So happy Easter to everybody.
Yep.
If you celebrate, if you don't, then I have a good Sunday, I guess.
Have a great Sunday. Yeah. Have a good Sunday.
How do you be inclusive with Easter at this point? I don't fucking know. So, all right, guys.
Have a great day.
For my co-host Joel James and for our lovely companions in the Dallas house, Sierra and Sadie, who made her triumphant return this evening after being on the patio for the entire episode. I've been Jared. This has been Joel. You've been listening to Mile High Pundit. We'll catch you guys next week.
Peace.